Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Esaala Bros podcast, where today we're previewing the RCB versus PBKS game. And I'm looking forward to this game. It's the first home game at Chinnaswamy. Who all are going? And I'm seeing what is it? Vinay and Santosh are already in their RCB jerseys. All set for the game?
Yes, Maga.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I think last time Phoenix ಸರಿ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ I think we were missing the true color of RCB and we want to stick with that. Probably the results also will go in our favor on Monday.
Monday, that's when the week starts. So you want to start the week with a high, saying that, wow, we're cheering for RCB in Chinnaswamy. I'm sure it's a different emotion, right, for you guys?
For a holy day, holiday and a holy day. So I think there'll be too many colors spread out across the city, and I think many will be celebrating the color of red on that day. Let's see.
Right. So are you guys planning to put Holi and then go to the stadium?
Nothing as such. Let's see. But it all matters what is the color at the maybe at around 11:30, 12 o'clock when the match gets over.
But anyway, it's a red blue game, just like the way it happened earlier, with Punjab and Delhi Capitals. Again, a battle of the red blues. So this is
And we're going to paint the town red, Karthik,
oh
for
wow.
sure. The way we have built RCB, we have built to really take advantage of home. We this year, home game is what we are focusing on. So
Right.
we are going to paint Bangalore red.
Right, I'm going to go see that. I'm there at the end stand. Look, that's my first time I've got a seat there at the end stand. Looking forward to catching the
Wow.
game in the straight view. Apparently, that particular stand has one food item and one beer free. So that's what I hear is the selling point of that stand. It's called the fan experience stand. So looking forward to the game. And as you said, home game. I'm just reminded of last year's first home game. The first home game had you guys win that, right? With MI 170 odd chase, and then you guys won it very easily.
Yeah, I was there when, frankly speaking, I never expected we to be dominating MI. But MI fans still say that first game they never take it seriously. So that is how they usually go with every year. I mean, talking of that game, it was like a trailer to the bigger movie that is going to come. And Faf and Kohli stepped up and they showed how it has to be played at the Chinnaswamy. I hope the same Kohli turns up uh, against Punjab on Monday.
We have power pack with seven batters to really tonk the ball across the ground, all over the ground, because we have designed to outbat any team which comes.
Outbat teams, huh? That's the theme for 2024. But as you're talking about outbatting teams, right? The Cameroon Green strategy and stuff like that. I'm noticing that they're not very good, very positive signs, at least in terms of matchups that I observed. Virat Kohli against Kagiso Rabada. I think he's played 35 balls, scored 32 runs. He's been out 4 times. Similar matchup, I think Kagiso Rabada has against Glenn Maxwell too. And Rajat Patidar has a weaker matchup against Rahul Chahar. So it looks like you guys are starting. Uh, uh, PBKS actually looks like a strong unit right now when I have a look at it. Are you guys having any fears for the game as such?
See, with matchups and all, I don't think so. It applies for Kohli. You expect Rabada to bounce him out or something, but someone like a Harpreet Bar comes in and bowls him out. That is how Kohli is being beat with RCB or with India, right?
Oh man,
So
I thought you were about to say Virat Kohli is going to score and just score 100, nothing, no matchup, no Rabada. And then you were saying, what Rabada versus? He'll get a
Brar will come. So while there is yes one odd strong matchup which will be there with any level, there are so many other benefits towards RCB.
Sure, the grass on the other side is always greener when you look at it. But at the same point that Santosh was mentioning, right, Harpreet Brar, to me, I think this is like a slightly the point that debilitates you guys is what I feel because Harpreet Brar also has a very good matchup against someone like Glenn Maxwell. So God forbid RCB is batting first in Chinnaswamy. That is already making them feel a little queasy because in Chinnaswamy, no total is easy to defend. And on top of it, if your strategy is overbat the opposition, you have an opposition that has your number here, at least with respect to the bowlers, who you guys are against. RCB PBKS in a 2023 scenario, you'd think, Arey, RCB will win it easily, boss. But PBKS looks to be a strong unit, at least with the matchups. So do you guys want to bat first, or do you guys want to, where do you think your advantage is? Batting first or chasing?
See, end of the day, I would say in Chinnaswamy, I think we're just, Faf is he's a guy who loves stats and analytics. I've heard that he sits around with a lot of matchups. He actually does his homework on matchups and things like that. So I'm quite sure the stat of the fact that, Chinnaswamy chasing is better under lights, and you can chase down and this match is batting versus batting. That's what I would go with in Chinnaswamy.
Like even I surprised with the match against CSK, right? Winning the toss, I felt Faf would go for chasing, given our strength is also for chasing. And it's not that Chepauk, it's like a pre 2016. If you see the numbers post 2017, the number of teams batting one or batting two both have won around 20 to 20, something like that. So the due factor also would come in. Why did we go for batting first? Hopefully, if we win the toss on Monday, personally, I would feel or I would want RCB to go for the chase. And let's see.
No, it's like two boxers who are just going to keep their defense down and say, you punch me, then I punch you. Let's see who falls down first. So, given that, we would like to punch second.
Punch second, of
Because
course.
he punch second very well.
Right. And you have Dew also, as your 12th man.
Absolutely. Another factor you've not considered is Maxi. While you talked about Maxi matchup, I remember the first season when Maxi moved from Punjab to RCB. That there was one game, first game where he played against his old opposition. He demolished him. So the question is, does Maxi also have the number of the opposition he's played for? On the same line, we have. It's time for us to make Patel purple again by beating him black and blue.
By the way, Harshal Patel was one of your own. He was, I think, the third highest wicket taker. As much as a lot of people troll Patel of his 6 different types of slower balls and the fact that he's a candidate to get hit. Harshal Patel, I think, got 14 or 18 wickets last year for IPL, for RCB, and he was like the third highest wicket taker from what I remember. But you think you guys have Harshal Patel's number, especially the kind of
See,
batting you have?
only one number I have of Harshal Patel is today's number. That is of the last over, he gave away 25 runs. So I would hope that the 4 overs that he's going to bowl day after tomorrow will also be on the same lines, and that is very much possible with Harshal Patel because we know that all he's going to bowl is back of the hand, and probably now that there are two bouncers, he might at time try to bowl a bouncer, but he's surely going for 50 to 60 is what my hunch.
This RCB batting lineup, despite losing 4-5 wickets for 70 runs, we still scored 173. So just think about when we come to Chinnaswamy in our den, it's and what is it that we're going to do? 173 against Chennai in Chidambaram, then RCB in Chinnaswamy is something else. So I think you can expect a 200 plus even if we bat first, and if you're chasing, then like what you said, repeat of what happened against Mumbai.
I wish life was a linear equation, but RCB keeps surprising you people with that, having completely very different results. But talking about, Glenn Maxwell, my sense is Glenn Maxwell, as much as he's a, mad hitter, there are bowlers here in the opposition who can get his number. And I think Harpreet Brar has taken his wicket thrice. Kagiso Rabada has taken his wicket 4 times.
Talking of Maxi as an all-rounder is what I really hope that RCB management gives more overs to Maxwell, especially if you look at last match, right? Although he got only 1 over and wherein he bowled decently, apart from the one ball which Jadeja hit straight down the ground, but he all through the over he bowled wicket to wicket, and you need such quick overs at Chinnaswamy so that you don't get the continuous flow on the opposition. So, especially last season, we didn't see much of a Maxwell as a bowler, but he's very much capable of turning the things around quickly by taking 2 to 3 wickets, irrespective of the pitch.
And yes, as you said, Maxwell getting a few overs. But again, does that go in with Sagar's observation about Faf du Plessis being more comfortable with medium pacers rather than spinners in the setup?
It's just that RCB has many options. The plan A will be to exactly what Faf might instinctively do. But you've got plan B. You've got Mayank Dagar. You have one other spinner, Maxi, and another Indian spinner, right? So you have 3-4 options as a
Correct.
backup overs if you want to bowl a few in between.
Right. And Maxwell,
Yeah,
ideally top of the order, you've seen Maxwell bowl to Quinton de Kock just because of this very base thing that, okay, bowl an off spinner to a left-hander, and you have Shikhar Dhawan here. But actually, Shikhar Dhawan has a brilliant matchup against Maxwell, 37 balls, 66 runs, and 1 wicket. So I think the matchup also is about quality of batter and quality of bowler, which in this case, maybe for Maxi, isn't the best entry point. But Punjab Kings are that kind of demolition squad that is just built to bat like the way England bats, which is basically go all out, have batting till number 9 or 10, and don't worry about settling in a T20. So I think Punjab, when I look at Punjab, the years of 2022, you had Bhanuka Rajapaksa, you had our current Indian wicketkeeper Jitesh Sharma,
Jitesh Sharma.
the Vidarbha wicketkeeper.
I think the one thing what you're saying, like they have these power pack punchers, you can say, or whatever line we want to call them. But there's one thing that happened to RCB last season. It's like, what is the common link between Tilak Verma, Henrik Klaassen, Nicholas Puran, and then I'm trying to think of more names, but there are like Shubman Gill. But if you count, there are like the RCB lost seven matches. I think I think they won 7. So out of the 7 matches they lost, 5 matches was completely taken. Shardul Thakur was one more, but 5 or 6 matches completely taken over by one batter, and who came hard at RCB. I think they had a they would always go and get this 80 for 5, or like in case of KKR 89 for 5, and then Shardul Thakur takes it away, right? And then and this pattern repeated. Against Mumbai, they've got 4-5 wickets. Tilak Verma hits, even though we won that game, but Tilak Verma completely took over, and they scored 170 plus, even though they should have been all out for 130, 140. So there was this pattern. Shubman Gill, Nicholas Puran did the same thing, right? I mean, he scored 70 or some 30 balls.
Sagar, you're accumulating scars over scars over scars. I can see Vinay being so. As you're talking about each of these instances, Vinay is feeling it, saying, "Man, don't remind me of that last season."
No, but I would say they. I'm hoping they observed it, that they are lacking that trying to break that rhythm. They lose momentum. Once they gain momentum, they lose momentum. That's what happened last year. So this year, it'll be interesting to see.
There's an interesting stat from today. I don't know if any of you saw that. The stat was Akshar Patel and Kuldeep bowled 8 overs, and they gave only 40 runs, and they took 2 wickets, and the remaining 12 overs were all the boundaries and the thing. So question is, do we go after Livingston with our 4 medium pacers? And he's very good with the short ball.
So I hope that Alzari Joseph, if he opens the bowling on Monday, he has to pitch it more fuller length and try to attack the stumps from the go, be it for Dhawan or for Westhoff. And interestingly, also Sam Curran came at number 4 ahead of Jitendra Sharma and Livingston today. I don't know whether they would continue with the same approach on the game versus RCB, but these are some interesting facts that.
Since this is the first, we're doing this session pre-match before first Chinnaswamy match, I wanted to spend some time and discuss with you guys about, going off of what we said in the previous podcast about Faf, whether he's preferring medium pacers. That's the pattern that he's showing in other leagues also with his team. And this observation that I think is possible, that in the auction they gave away Patel and Hasaranga for 22 crores, and they bought a 17 crore asset, which we just discussed, in form of the new 17 crore asset in form of Cameron Green. And then they went and bought, like a few crores is still a 5 crores plus something for Joseph and Dayal and all these guys, saying that I want a medium pacer whom I can probably have a better idea in Chinnaswamy, because it's in Chinnaswamy. I think the Puran match, when Puran completely smashed and demolished, I feel that match was very critical it could be a very critical match in the history of RCB's franchise, because I think they felt that they should have won that match at all costs, and neither of the spinners could contain Puran, and he was just hitting anything and everything. And they decided that we have to win in Chinnaswamy majority of the matches. In order to qualify, 8 is the number. Win 5 in Chinnaswamy. For that, spinners are not going to come into play. let's go and buy this 17 crore fourth seamer who can also bat for us. And I feel that is a strategy which they have gone with, and to win in Chinnaswamy. So, if Faf is relaxed in Chidambaram, possibly it's because they're going to come hard with a very clean plan and strategy in Chinnaswamy. And I think this is the right time for us to discuss this, because we have to see how the next two matches in Chinnaswamy take place and see how they play those strategies, because the auction is probably done just for this occasion.
So what
Right.
happens after we qualify? Uh,
Wow,
and
wow.
win the semi-final final?
That is some amount of positive thinking. You've already gone on to the knockouts. You're in the last
No,
week.
no, but if you're built for Chinnaswamy, semi-final is not in Chinnaswamy or playoffs.
Right.
What happens to the team then?
See, I mean, we have to. I
But
mean,
I
right? I mean,
agree with your
unfortunately,
point.
we are
They
not
have
CSK. Unfortunately, we are not. We will get there at one point, but today we are not CSK who to say will qualify every year. So first, let's think about qualification, and then I'm
No, no,
sure
don't
the
worry.
experience will come
CSK
into
also
play.
CSK also post MST will be saying that array we have to first qualify, then we'll think about that and all. Those days are coming soon. Not to worry on that.
So, yeah, to add to your point, but then here is another question to that. I see them doing that. It's the same pattern that they're doing. That like looking at seamers and they're saying, hey, our home advantage is seamers. Spin didn't play well for us. But that Puran game, was it spin or was it Karan Sharma?
I I know Karan Sharma went for runs, but
He's
I
the
don't know
guy,
what the
he was a
figures for
spinner.
Hasaranga
But then
was.
he's still retained and he's playing. So then I'm wondering if it is
I
purely
mean,
spin as a thought process, or I know even
Indian.
Vaninda Asaranga went for runs. Vaninda
Yeah.
Asaranga, the Dubai season, the bowler he was, and the Bangalore last year when he came back was very different. He didn't bring in the same X factor last year.
Right.
Uh,
Of course,
But
I
for
mean,
that,
RCB.
okay, to answer your question on that game, actually it was Karan Sharma. Karan Sharma gave 48 runs in 3 overs, 18
correct,
balls,
correct.
48 runs, and Hasaranga didn't feature in that game. Um, Shahbaz gave 15 runs in the 1 over that he bowled. So 63 runs off 4 overs off spin. And I think the Pacers went at a slightly lesser run rate, not 15, 16 an
No, you
over.
had already got, I think that thanks to the Pacers by 14th or 13th over, I think we had already got 4-5 wickets.
Yeah, you were
Puran
105 for 5.
also.
In the 12th over, they were 105 for 5, chasing
Was the last
213.
hope.
And Nicholas
Correct.
Puran came and scored 78 runs in 5-6 overs, because by the time he got out, which was 189 for 6 in the end of the 17th over, that is where he had basically blown the game away. 62 of 19 balls, and all of those
It's
runs
unbelievable.
probably came against spin.
Correct.
So I think, yes,
Correct.
it's a very, very fair point that spin at Chinnaswamy is definitely not something that Faf du Plessis may want to trust in anymore. But that said, there's an interesting point that Vinay also made, which was the runs that PBKS. PBKS seems to struggle against spin. So will Faf want to go change that strategy at Chinnaswamy? Probably not. But that's something that I will look out for in the game to see how is it that RCB is going to look at, marshal their bowling troops. Because with their batting, at least there is some level of assurance. But with their bowling, I still feel very queasy about, hey man, do they have their plans right? Because even that LSG game, 213 to chase, Mohammad Siraj got 3 for 22 in his 4 overs. So you have one bowler who's like the gold standard for power play, and even at death. But then you have a bunch of other people who are at best, mediocre or average. So I think that way, I'm really curious to understand how RCB's bowling lineup comes again. And this is where I think a captain having a definitive plan is going to be important, because Punjab Kings as a team, they basically go explode. Okay, you just need to have some plans against them, saying even if they explode, you want to go find and see how can you go pick wickets. And they bat with this whole thing. They had only 34 dot balls in the game against DC. And as a side, they basically make sure that 75 to 80 balls, or rather 85 to 90 balls, is exactly the number of scoring shots they score in a T20 game, which is a very high standard. The only problem is they also lose wickets. So if Punjab don't lose wickets but are able to maintain this high standard, then I think RCB is having a tough opponent to brace with, especially on the run scoring bit, because RCB's real fear is their bowling. And their batting, which you have an Achilles heel, which you guys are aware of, which is basically if you guys don't score fast enough, because that I'm sure these guys are going to go put pressure. Yes, especially if Faf and Virat are looking to settle. At least Faf is got off the blocks very quickly in his 33 that we saw yesterday at Chepauk. But yes, all in all, as a neutral fan, I'm thinking it's not going to be an easy game for RCB. If RCB is going to bat second, yes, I'm sure you're going to think 60-40. But if RCB is going to go bat first, that's where the a lot of worries start coming in. That's how I read the game. Vinay, I have just one pointed question for you. Who should be your fourth foreigner as a bowling option? Should it be Lockie Ferguson? Should it be Alzari Joseph? Or should it be Reece Topley?
Well, very thought-provoking question, actually. I would go see. I think Esaala does the whole job of the left arm, which he did reasonably well with CSK. So I would still go with him to open the power play with Siraj. I would go in for Lockie Ferguson. Why? Because Punjab, as you said, is a high-risk, high-reward team. Lockie Ferguson has an ability to hurry the batsman. Lockie Ferguson does well between 8 to 20 middle overs and death overs. He has the ability to just surprise you with that extra pace. So I would test that out in RCB at
Sure.
Chinnaswamy.
Sure, I'm looking forward to all these combinations happening as we sit for the game. And if any of you are coming in for the game, I'm going to be there in N stand. Sagar is going to be there in the P1 stand. I know his ticket is still just about. We're trying to organize that ticket. But yes, that was some fun. Wherever you are going to watch this from, at your home or at the RCB bar and cafe, or with us at the stadium.
Like the way I'm going to do it.
You're going to be watching it from Mangalore. So I'm hoping that you're going to keep your comments coming. If you like what we are doing, please do comment on the video. We'd love to interact and feature some of the comments on the show. But till then, thank you from the Esaala Bros. See you around and see you at the game.